chapter 4 in the self-esteem workbook for kids. This chapter is on brain chemical messages. Okay, know this, section 1, know this. The way you feel about yourself has partly to do with your brain's physical makeup. Not like makeup like, eyeshadow, but like how your brain is made. The different parts of your brain work along with your brain chemicals are the factors initially inherited from your ancestors, just like your height and your hair color. So you might notice that you tend to feel similarly to your ancestors, to your parents or your grandparents. There's kind of patterns of like behavior and feelings. Our brains are amazing and complex organs. That's why I like being a psychologist, because I think it's fascinating. They are the computer centers of our bodies. They regulate and maintain everything that our bodies do, including influencing our self-esteem. Different parts of the brain have different functions. For example, the deep limbic system, that's deep in your brain. That's like the oldest, most primitive part of your brain. Sets the emotional tone of the mind. It influences our ability to see positive or negative. When the deep limbic system is working too hard, we tend to focus on negativity. That's probably where my brain tends to be sometimes. This can lower self-esteem. Another part is the basal ganglia system. So if these words are fun, then you might want to like really go into like neuroscience or learning about the brain, which affects our level of anxiety and nervousness. People with nervous or anxious parents tend to also sometimes be nervous and anxious. Excessive activity in this area can contribute to unfounded is like there's not a reason for it, feelings of being judged or scrutinized. Scrutinized is just a word for like people always feeling like people are always watching you to find you doing something wrong. The prefrontal cortex, so that's the front part of your brain right here, regulates attention and organizational skills. So that is like where you're able to pay attention to things or really organize well. The cingulate system affects flexibility and cooperation. And that for me is probably like super working well, because I'm very flexible and I can cooperate and get along with other people very well. The temporal lobes are back here by your ears. They affect memory and emotional stability and aggression. Aggression is like, anger and that kind of stuff. Our heightened or diminished activity in any area can affect our behavior and the way we feel about ourselves. So I hope that helps you understand that like just the way that your brain is made kind of contributes a lot to how you feel. Along with the various systems, our brains also function with the help of chemicals and neurotransmitters. They're just like chemicals and substances that your body naturally makes that are in your brain. The amount of these chemicals and their movement patterns affect your mood and perceptions, so the things that how you feel about the things that you experience, and your behaviors. For example, the chemical serotonin contributes to feelings of well-being and happiness. Dopamine is the brain's reward system, and it provides motivation. So like serotonin makes you feel happy, dopamine can make you feel really excited. Norepinephrine affects our attention and focus. Excessively high levels of any of these neurotransmitters may increase our vulnerability to depression or having low self-esteem. The physiology of our brains. Physiology is just a big, sophisticated word for how your brain works. Of our newborn brains is an inheritance from our parents. That's just how you're made, how you come into this world. When we understand what we brought into the world genetically, we know more about what we're working with to create healthy self-esteem. no matter what you were born with, you can still learn to have a very healthy self-esteem and value other people, value yourself, see your positives, and be aware of your negatives and your weaknesses, and also